Hello and welcome back to Dream Girl. If you're new here, I'm Sheen, your host, and today's guest is Sina Port. So Sina is a brand strategist and an entrepreneur who has designed her business to be around freedom rather than around burnout. And she's also a mum. She's managed to take unlimited maternity leave. And she's here to talk to us about how it's not all about the hustle advice that's online, but it's about softness and being a little bit smarter about how we lead and how we make money. Hi, Sina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This has been a very long time in the making.
Yes. We tried to schedule a lot, but...
I know. Well, congratulations firstly on baby number 2.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It's beautiful because it's a girl. It's so different. She just looks at you and she communicates,
Oh, wow.
And the boys just do. But it's also 2 kids under 2. So it's been really, really wild.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
It is. But now for the audience, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. So I run a coaching, consulting, and speaking business. One of my my purpose is basically to help women build their own feminine business, help them build a 7-figure personal brand. But I didn't do this my entire life, obviously. Okay. It took a long way to come here. Now what I always say, I have a vision board, not just for myself, actually for my clients. I have their income on my vision board.
Wow.
And it's just beautiful to be able to help other women to make money. And my big dream is for every woman to have the opportunity to get paid to be who she is.
Amazing. But walk us through the journey. Tell us a little bit about your story. You said you've not always been there. So what was the journey like?
So I grew up in a very small German village. I had 6 jobs before I was 16 because my parents didn't have a lot of money. They both married really young. And I was always obsessed with the idea of getting paid to do something that I liked doing. And I was I need to first of all, we didn't get any pocket money. I grew up on secondhand clothes. We had everything food, access to education, access to sports, but everything else was on us. And so I was really on that mission to find something that I liked doing, that I could make money from. I think every time anyone who grows up in a family that doesn't have a lot of money has either a really bad relationship with money, money is the source of all stress and problems, or they get obsessed with making money. And for me, it was always the outcome of after I have that, after I, make this, what do I use it for? My first goal was always to, retire my parents. And I knew that was a long-term plan. And so the first kind of outcome goal I had in mind was let me leave Germany. Let me leave this village where no one understands me. And I think, I don't know, everyone who grows up in a small village where just everyone knows your name and people are looking right and left, what is she doing? And they're talking about you. You're just I need to leave this place because I don't have anyone here that I look up to. And so I left when I was 18. I saved all that money from bartending and being a tennis trainer and whatever else jobs I had. And I left to Malaysia alone. And
what pulled you to Malaysia?
I used strategic to a study that could get me out of the country. So I studied international business, and one of my semester abroad was in Malaysia. It's the only place I could afford. That sounded cool. And when I was there, I already started networking, even though I was just studying there. And people were offering me jobs. And I was okay, I don't even have a degree, but you're offering me a job. Sounds like the place to be. And at that time, that was the place where startups would come. Uber were just coming up there, and they were always looking for new talent. Meanwhile, in Germany, it was all 9 to 5, get into the rat race and work yourself up for 20 years. And so I was you know what, if they're already offering me a job without any degree, let me just try to move and see what I can do. Tried to have my own business there, failed miserably.
Okay.
But it taught me that I was good at branding, because even though I wanted to do an app for women to, do sports around the world and go to any gym that they, could go to when they're traveling. But I was not an app developer and I'm really bad at tech. But everyone knew about the idea, and I was even featured in a startup magazine in Malaysia. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I might have failed on that, but it showed me that I'm good at this, which is telling a story, building a brand. And that's how I got into working with companies on their own branding.
And I know even today, first of all, I just want to address, you're so soft-spoken.
Oh,
and every time, even right now, I'm just lost in listening to you. And I was like, wait, I'm meant to be asking questions.
You're so sweet.
I understand now why your content goes viral online as well, because you're just captivating people's attention. But tell us, I mean, obviously now I know the way I discovered you as well was because I've seen the work that you do in terms of branding. But tell us a little bit more, because I feel like today companies, people, everyone have realized that branding is so important, especially digital branding.
Yeah.
What would you say about, do you feel like the space is getting crowded? Is there still time for people to build their personal brand? Should they?
So first of all, I think personal branding itself is like a very vague term. People don't really know what that means. Is it how people talk about you when you're not in the room? Is it, is it the logo that you use, or the fonts, or the colors, or what you wear? And so when I found out about personal branding, I was actually really struggling in my business, because I was a brand strategist for companies, but I had never built, I had kind of built naturally my personal brand by just networking. But when I converted to Islam, I deleted my entire online presence. And how do you build a business if no one knows you? That just doesn't work. So I was in my honeymoon, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't send people cold DMs on LinkedIn just to get clients or get into rooms for people to know me. And I told my mentor, I can't do this anymore. And my mentor asked me a question. How do you catch butterflies? And I said, I don't know. You catch them with this net thingy that you run around with? And my mentor said, no, you don't catch butterflies. You build a garden and you let them come to you. And that's when I figured I've done this brand strategy for other companies, for really big corporations, but I've never done it for myself. So I've been chasing clients. I've been chasing, telling people how amazing you are, going to networking events and elevator pitching yourself. Everyone knows that. It doesn't work. And so I had to build my garden. That garden is my personal brand, so I could be attracting opportunities to me, clients, customers, whatever it might be. And that you will always need that. You will always need a way for people to know you before they even meet you. You will always, and that's why I always say that you need a personal brand as a woman, because we don't chase, we attract. And as soon as we start chasing, we feel like it's not meant for us. Business is burning me out. Maybe it's not meant for us. Maybe I just stay home with the kids and, wait for my husband to bring home the money. But internally, no. I want to have an impact. I want to, help people and make money from it. But the way that you do it is the masculine way. Create a product. Sell it for a low price, try to go viral so a lot of people buy the product. Instead of first telling your story, getting your clients first, attracting those clients to you because they connect with your story, and then create an offer, ideally high premium offer. So you can help them with something that you went through, and that's the feminine way.
I like what you talked about in terms of the garden and the butterfly, because I also always think in terms of personal branding, I see it let's say if I stayed in Mauritius, in my little island, and you stayed in your village in Germany,
yes,
the likelihood of us meeting is zero, right? We would have never met. But then you left Germany, you came to Dubai, I left Mauritius and I came to Dubai, and the likelihood of us meeting really increased. But now me going online and you going online, and the likelihood of us meeting is exponential. So that's the power of personal branding. You never know who's seeing you. It's just increasing the surface area for things to happen to you. And I think that's a beautiful way of just seeing that the importance of it, especially in a time like today, where I feel like jobs are not very secure. People never know what's happening. There's that statistics that came out that by 2030, 80% of the jobs that will be on the job market are not even created yet today. So it's what are we training for? So It's good that people know your story. But now, listening to what you just said, I love it. And I completely agree with it, what you said in terms of, tell your story, find the people that relate to that story and are at different stages that you used to be, and therefore you can help them. Yeah. But I know, because I also work with a lot of creators, right? And I know that a lot of them think that this is theoretically, it sounds great, but that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. So what advice do you have for people in terms of how do you tell your story in a way to find the right clients online?
So first of all, your mindset should go away from, I need to be a genius and have a genius strategy to start making money. Like, we all think this, and it's just not how it goes. As soon as you let go of that mindset and understand it's actually quite simple, it's not easy, but it's simple. That's when you're like, okay, let me just take this in and maybe apply. She says 99% of people listening to this will not apply it anyways. But maybe the 1% that I'm talking to you are the 1% of women that are going to make it. And so when it comes to your story, what do people buy? You always see people buy a solution to a problem, right? If you just think about yourself, this is a very, very vague term, and you could solve any problem, right? You can solve the problem that, I don't know, of driving to work and making it more enjoyable. You could solve the problem of your glasses are hurting your nose when you put it on. You could solve any problem, but you don't want to. It's boring. And what we've been taught is go and research a problem people really want a solution to, and then make a product and then sell it. And for us women, it's just that's boring. I don't want this. I don't want to go according to market research. I want to figure out what can actually help when other people do based on my purpose, right? The impact I want to give. And that usually comes from a moment in your life where you said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Maybe you've been struggling with your skin and you had eczema all your life. And now you have kids and they're struggling with the same. And you can see none of the creams work that the doctors give you. And you actually have to find your own way through nutrition and change of lifestyle and organic solutions. And that's how you solved that problem, right? That moment you were like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't see my kids struggling. The same with you are struggling with student debt, okay? And you're like, why am I minus 100,000 before I even get a job, okay? And you're like, I'm done. This can't be it. This is a scam. I need to figure out how to rearrange my finances, figure out my savings, my investments, and you do it for yourself. Now, if you think about the problems you would spend most money on, those are similar problems. Problems where you're like, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. And if you see someone who had that same moment, they came out of it, you will throw money in their direction to help you get out of it too. If you see someone who has solved a problem that you're struggling with right now, you will give them anything in order to tell you how to solve that problem. That could be financially, relationship, health-wise, it doesn't actually matter. I give you an example. Leah, one of my mentees, she came to the program and she's a consultant helping people go from Germany to Dubai with their business. And the reason why she does it is because she herself left after COVID, Germany, and because Germany was not, first of all, if you're German, you know that Germany's not set up for entrepreneurs. It's for 9-to-5 people, and you don't get any benefits when you're an entrepreneur there. You just get stones put in your way. And so she was like, all of these limitations after COVID, I can't do this. I need to find a place where I can actually have my own business. At the time, it was a small, helping people do my marketing business. Okay. So she left to Dubai alone, very young, alone as a German.
Very brave.
Very brave. And she converted to Islam here because she fell in love with the people and their culture and seeing Islam in person here in Dubai. She had to figure out apartment, how she would pay her bills. And in the process, people were like, how did you move? How did you set up your business in Dubai? How did you go from taking it away from Germany and putting it in Dubai? She's like, no, very simple. 1, 2, 3. You want the solution? Yeah, sure. How much do I pay you? Now people are willing to pay her to move their own, whether it's self-employment or small business, or even they don't have a business yet, but they have an idea. And basically, how do I take it from Germany, leave Germany? How do I come to Dubai? How do I set it up? It's a problem that you have solved for yourself. This obviously, it's like, okay, she already had a business, she was already successful. Okay, let's look at someone else. Hannah, she was struggling as a doctor in Germany. She was actually a doctor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You should meet her. And she was really struggling with the schedule of being a doctor. Obviously, working crazy hours, night shifts. After a while, she was so burned out. She had 4 night shifts in a row. She broke down. She fainted in front of the hospital. She just broke down. Her heart stopped for a minute. And when she came back to work, her superior said, "No worries, just take the weekend off. Come back on Monday." No problem. She's like, "No, that's it. I can't do this. Can't do this anymore." Other people, I'm here burning myself to the ground. I can't sleep. I can't eat. My nervous system is crazy. And I need to find a solution. So she left the hospital and shared her journey online. Literally just shared her story. She never had any posts online before. 700 followers, only personal posts. And the first time she shared her story, it went viral, 500,000 views. And people were like, "How did you, what are you doing now? How are you helping yourself now? How are you healing now?" So she shared her journey of how she now uses not conventional medicine, but traditional methods, nervous system regulation, emotional release, nutrition, health, yoga, whatever it is, to heal. And people were like, "Yeah, I want the same thing. I'm struggling. I'm a doctor too, and I also am, burned out from my doctor job, but I'm burned out from my 9 to 5. I'm burned out from, running around with my kids, with my 3 kids, and I don't know why I'm not eating, why I am intolerant to every single food that's on my plate. I want you to help me." And she literally made 15,000 euros in her first week of launching that offer. That was more than 3 months of her doctor's salary. Just because she found out that something that she's overcoming, other people are trying to overcome too. And especially when it's you're willing to pay to find that solution for yourself.
And I love how you're talking about everyone's kind of eureka moment of finding out, what is it that you are very good at and you can help others with and you can also make money from.
It's not necessarily what you're good at. It's more what you have overcome for yourself. What you have solved for yourself.
But doesn't that mean you're good at it?
Yes, but it's not let me find my talents. Yes. Maybe those talents weren't there since you're 12 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe you just
it might be skills that you've developed.
Correct.
Yeah. But for you, when was that moment where it all clicked and you knew that the way everyone is, especially women, are approaching business is very masculine and that does not make sense for us? When was that moment? Hey dreamers, quick pause from the convo. If you are wondering what the Dreamers Digest is, it's my exclusive online community where I share behind the scenes goodies, lessons from building this podcast, and all the juicy stuff that never makes it to the final cut. If you're not in it yet, check the link in the show notes and come join us. It's 100% free. Also, shocking fact, 89% of you watching this on YouTube right now are not even subscribed. Wild, right? So if that's you, go ahead and hit that button. It would mean the world to me. And now, super exciting news. We launched the Podcast Academy. This is where I've poured everything I've learned from taking this show to 150 million views and turning it into a real business. It's 10 powerful modules packed with tools to help you launch, grow, and actually monetize your podcast. You'll even get the chance to submit your episode for personal feedback from me and my team. If you've been thinking about starting a show or scaling the one you already have, this is your sign. Click the link in the description box below to learn more. Now, back to the episode.
When I first got pregnant with my first one, I was still working really hard. So I had worked on my personal brand from scratch before that. And I had become a consultant for brands like Adidas, BMW, Google, and also a keynote speaker. But that meant that I was, plus a 9-to-5 that I had at the time. But that meant that I was working every single day. I was trying to hustle like everyone tells you to, right? You have like a 5 a.m. morning routine, and then you cold plunge and you do, don't know, what all these... I've never seen a woman, a successful woman who wakes up at 5 a.m., journals, cold plunges, goes for like
a run,
okay, comes back, has like 5 meetings, and still has time to be wildly successful. It just doesn't work because we work either like, first of all, you have your cycle. So you need to cycle sync your business. You're not productive the entire month. It goes up and down throughout the weeks. But for me, the I'm done moment in that at that time was just being pregnant and saying like, I can't have that baby and go back to work right away. I can't like leave this baby behind just because I need to make money and then come home and leave my baby at daycare, come home and I'm too exhausted to even spend time with him. No. And so I feel like that was like the moment where I said I need to change something. I need the feminine way to business. I can see other people make 5K, 20K per client. And I'm still here hustling with like the small numbers because I'm like, and that's us women, right? We're like, let me give you the best product and the best service for the best price because not everyone can afford, like, right? Not everyone has to afford you.
And it's also that thing of like feeling guilty about charging too much.
Yeah.
We think it's too much.
Yes. But where does that guilt come from? That you think that people can't afford you and you want to help everyone? That's what your social media is for. That's where you give free advice. But everyone who wants to work with you and wants to have that energy exchange, your energy is sacred. They need to pay up. And they will pay up. That's the funny thing. And that's the funny thing. I always, and I told you this before, I always fight with the women that I like help build a business. I fought with Hannah. I fought with every single mentee that I have. I fight with them about the price because they're like, no, I'm just going to do a course for $200 because that's like the perfect price. And no one can afford 5K. And they go and get their first client for 5K. And they're like, oh, okay, maybe I should charge 10K. Now Hannah's charging 18K, anywhere between 8 to 18K for a client.
Yeah, I think honestly, this is something I've noticed as well, because even with myself, and I know we've had this conversation in the past, right? When I was starting off with the course, we always think, that the value is there because we've poured everything into it.
Yes.
But then you feel, but no, if I price it low, I can get numbers, I can get more people because more people are in this bracket. I don't want to go into that premium thing and what will people think that, I'm just trying to make money from this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's where women always get stuck in that money mindset. So what advice do you have when it comes to what is the best approach to pricing yourself?
Okay, so the price never matters. The transformation does. When you sell a $200 course, realistically, 80% of people are never going to look at the course or do it until the end. So you basically scammed them because you sold them something that they're never going to apply or receive results from. If you charge high and they can work with you one-on-one or they have a closer connection to you, then you can actually bring them results. So I always say, people always come to me like, I have so many clients. I have the client that can afford it and then the one that can't afford it. And I would say, no, you don't have different clients. You have the same client on different parts of their journey. Example, fitness and nutrition, okay? You have the client that can afford you is at a point where she has been doing yoga and she has been like self-educating about nutrition for years, but she's still stuck. She's still not getting to the goal. She's still sick every 2 weeks. She still can't sleep. So she's done all the work, but now she wants your personal guidance to get to the level where she's like, she has energy all day long. That woman has something to lose. Maybe she has a business and by the way, that's me. That was me a couple months ago. When I'm sick every 2 weeks as a business owner, I lose money.
Yeah.
So I rather give you money to teach me how to be healthy, how to have energy every single day, how to find my intolerances and overcome them. Now, that person will be able to afford you because she can see I'm losing money, so I'm investing in you.
She sees the value.
She sees the value. Then you look at that person 2-3 years ago. That is the person that's just kind of dabbling in like the nutrition and health space. She's not really interested to make a huge difference, but she wants to kind of like become a Pilates girl. Okay. That is the right client for a $200 course, $500 course. She's going to do the course, learn a little bit here and there, apply it. Okay. She's not going to pay the premium price. She's exactly at that spot. And then you have one before that she's never have, maybe that was the same client at 18.
Yeah.
I've never heard about nutrition and health, but I feel like I see a lot of people do it and I look up to them. Let me join a community of $99 a month and learn about, health and nutrition. And that's the right person there. Most people, most women as well, start with the $200 course. That client that is just like dabbling around, I want to become a Pilates girl. Okay. You could just as much target the next kind of person. What you're doing is you're burning yourself out because you're not able to. Most of the women that come, I can barely pay my rent. I don't have enough money for like the world travel that I want to have. You're struggling yourself, but then you want to sell a low priced product to a lot of people where you need, instead of 3 clients a month, let's say your income goal is 10K. If your premium price offer is 5K, that means 2 clients a month. You can actually help them. You can actually make them see results. They can actually have a transformation. You can impact them positively. You will get testimonials to sell the next thing. If you have a $200 course, how many clients do you need? You have 50 clients that month. First of all, how are you going to get them? Because
that's a lot of people.
Conversion rates are anywhere between 2 and 5%. So you need 1,000 leads. Do you get 1,000 leads every month?
Yeah.
If you want to scale, because obviously you don't want to stop at the 10K a month. If you want to scale, you need 1,000 leads a day. That means you need to constantly go viral. You need to constantly sell, have 1,000 funnels and have email marketing. That's the funny thing. Most of the women that start in my program and have the 5K offer, they don't even have a funnel. They don't have an email list. They don't have to go viral because they only need 2 clients. They don't need 50. So you just need to change your perspective. First, get the premium clients, get them results, get a transformation, learn from them, because realistically, you don't even know what people need or want.
Right.
Okay? Because you're just like...
How you can help, right?
How you can help, because you're just making this up in your mind. Oh, this is how it works for me. Let me just information dump.
Copy paste, yeah.
Yes. And then you don't know if this worked for a person at this weight, at this age, in this industry, with this fears, mindset. You only learn this through one-on-one. Once you learn that, then you can create, based on the most asked questions, the biggest transformations. You take those small, strategies that really gave them all the results, and you turn it into the lower price offer. And then you can remove yourself, because obviously you don't want to burn out either, right? If you want to scale, you can't scale your time.
Yeah. But also as a good, whoever is a good coach, your coaches should be able to function without you after a period of time. So.
Of course. And that's where, for example, now when I was pregnant, I was like, I need to remove myself. How do I make sure that my clients get the same results without me being there? And that's then the next level where you're like, okay, I need to set up my team.
Okay, I'm going to go back to, before we go into the actual setting the team, I want to go back to, we're talking about the importance of personal branding. And one fear, and I'm sure you get this question a lot as well, is a lot of women are scared of putting themselves online, right? They think that having a personal brand suddenly means that your life is very public.
Yes.
And I think there's a very fine distinction between the two. And especially you being a convert, being a hijabi, you must get a lot of interesting comments online. Even I do. So
yes.
how do you, first of all, balance that kind of like line between your personal life and being a public face?
So first of all, difference between personal brand and being private. I'm a super private person. So the first time I got pregnant, I kept it secret. I had 20K followers at the time. And I tried to create content, like heavily pregnant, trying to like cover it up in some way. And I only announced it 2 months after. And I also only announced it because it does change you and my perspective changed. So I wanted to share a little bit more around that. And with my second pregnancy, I also kept it a secret, which had way higher stakes this time because we have hundreds of clients, we have a team, we have 300,000 followers now, not 20K. Yeah. So, and my mentees, of course, needed to know like when I'm out. So I, literally like kept it all private. The thing is, your personal brand is not your private life. Okay, people don't really care about what you have for breakfast. They care about your values, about your story, but you can leave out things in your story. For example, you don't feel comfortable sharing. Mm-hmm. But what I like to do is I like to delay posting, because realistically, when something happens to you, you're going through it at this moment. I don't like to share negative things or like messy moments. Mm-hmm. I like to share them when I have a solution for it. Because if not, you're just trauma dumping.
Yeah.
Doesn't help anyone. So delayed posting gives you that privacy, but it also gives you the freedom of expression that you don't need to keep everything a secret, but you can share strategically what you like to share. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to hate, I'm used to it. I converted and I came back to Germany, so I was a visibly Muslim woman in Bavaria. If anyone knows Bavaria, you can't even be a teacher if you wear the headscarf.
Really?
You're not allowed to teach.
Oh, wow.
And
so how were you welcomed back?
Interesting. Even my father was like, you're never going to get a job if you wear this thing, and you should take it off for the interview. I'm like, that's not how it works. And I'm going to prove you wrong. And, you get the side eye, but you also get the side eye if you're a brown woman, right? Like my dad was the first black man in our neighborhood, in our small German village. Like I was used to this. I was used to kids saying like, let's play Who's Afraid of the Black Man? Let's invite Sina's dad.
Oh my God.
Like it's nothing new to me.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, honestly, as a woman, it took out a lot in the work field. It took out the garbage. You know how you like in settings and like guys usually like start flirting or that doesn't happen if you have a headscarf on. So it's like, okay, I'm good. I was the only, hijabi keynote speaker at most of the events that I'm speaking at. I'm the first consultant that they see in a headscarf, but it also helped me a lot. I was visibly Muslim and I was able to help the Adidas team create a sports hijab because they saw me talk about the things like brands should be inclusive, and I was a visibly Muslim woman. They were like, okay, can you help us? So it opened up a lot of opportunities. When it comes to online, I have a very simple rule: block haters. I delete bad comments. I block them. I block haters, because it's like someone throwing trash into your living room.
Yeah. Why should I let you?
Yeah. This is my place. And you're destroying the entire energy for everyone else in the comments and in my community, and I'm not going to let you. I have to say, I have 96% women following me.
Wow.
And women are just beautiful beings. Like they don't usually come and like hate.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that you get a woman hater. It's always the man.
Yes. But when you go viral, you have that thing. And
the more views, the more haters as well.
Yes, and hate is free PR. It counts to your engagement. So let it be. Meghan Markle proved that to all of us.
Yeah.
But I also have to say, confidence is not the input. It's the output. Confidence is not me being confident online and I don't care what anyone says because I'm just a confident person. It's because I put out so much work, put out so much content. At some point, I don't care anymore because this helped me become financially free. This helped me actually impact women. Why would I care about no name, no username, no profile picture? Guy who's hating on me because I'm Muslim.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same. I didn't used to delete because I felt like, oh no, then I'm just projecting a fake image. And I was like, no, this person doesn't get to come on my page and spew hate to me.
Yes.
Go. So now I restrict, I block, I delete. Yeah. And I was like, no, I don't need to see this. My followers don't need to see this.
Correct.
You don't have something positive to say? Bin.
Yes.
So I love that. But now that we're talking about a little bit more, you know, the mindsets, we've talked a lot about the tools and the systems. But when it comes to mindset, obviously you have 2 beautiful kids now, but there's one thing
Still sounds so weird. Because she's so young. I'm like, I have 2 kids now. Yes.
You're new to it.
I still feel like a 16-year-old girl. Why do I have kids?
I mean, you are. You're just a girl. Yes. But, you know, online, I feel like we've been fed this whole thing constantly that women can have it all. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with the statement? Now that, you know, you've done the hustle, you've done the entrepreneurship, you've done the being a mom, do you think women can have it all?
I do. But on our terms, not what you see hustle bro business advice out there. Let me say it like this. You need to find your own version of success, and you need to stop looking at everyone around you and what lifestyle they're living to make up your own version. So I always thought I need to be either a stay-at-home mom or either a working mom. You know, comes home from work, too exhausted. Mm-hmm. You know, comes home from work, puts her kids in daycare, and too exhausted to even spend time with them at the end of the day. That's not how it's supposed to be. Our moms and grandmothers, they did it all, right? So we don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
I want it all without having to do it all. And that's the big difference. So for me, real luxury is not like designer bags. For me, real luxury is that I have a bank account that grows while I play with my kids in the garden and they go catch butterflies in the garden and I just look at them. That's real luxury to me. And so I need to set up systems that work for me. For me, a big difference was that I don't want to do all the masculine stuff in the business because I can grow it to 7 figures, but beyond that, I need someone that is obsessed with systems and scaling and leading a team, and I don't want to do that, okay? Because I will be a lot in my masculine energy, and I work much better when I'm in my creative, I'm the face of the brand, and so you need, at some point, either you delegate it, you outsource it, or you need a business partner. And so I made the decision to make my husband the CEO of the business. So I can do what I like to do and he can focus on like being in his masculine, like leading the team and setting up the scaling systems and thinking about more products and offers to scale. And I'm the face of the brand. I am the creative behind. I can do the delivery of the like coaching and like actually impacting people. But at some point you need to figure out you don't have to do it all to have it all. And you shouldn't. Like you see the generation of our moms like being exhausted because they try to do it all.
And they thought that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I don't think exhaustion shouldn't be part of how we get there. There has to be real ease and joy that's like built into our legacy, not just exhaustion. So finding the feminine way to doing things. And for me, it's everything that I do. For example, I romanticize my work. Like a lot of people, like, here's what doesn't work for women. Order takeout chicken and go ghost, put yourself in a dark room for 4 months, don't talk to anyone, and then you're going to become a millionaire. That doesn't work for us women. We want to actually enjoy the process. So what I did throughout my entire work is, how do I make this procrastination? Why do we procrastinate? Because something feels hard.
Yeah.
We don't
want to do it.
We don't want to do it. How can you make yourself feel excited about doing it? For example, when I had a 9-to-5 and work and I was a keynote speaker and I was still creating content, I hate editing. I was dreading editing, but without me putting content out, I wouldn't be able to attract those opportunities. So what I did is every Sunday I would do like 3 to 4 hours editing in one row, but I would get myself a bubble tea, put it next to me, and I would look forward to it. I would light a candle. Sometimes if I'm not at home, I go to a coffee shop and I would feel like a movie character, you know, like
the main character.
The main character. That's how we make ourselves do things. We make it beautiful. We romanticize the thing we're doing. If you feel like you hate being on, I don't know, you hate having a sales call with your leads, okay? Why? Because you don't feel confident. Okay, put yourself in the best dress. Put yourself like the makeup that makes you feel the most confident, and get on the call, and your entire energy will change. You will look forward to it. You're going to get yourself the matcha next to it, so you feel like a real boss. That is the feminine way of doing things. You need to actually romanticize the process. Then you're going to do the work. Because again, you can't expect yourself to be confident to do the work. The output is what brings the confidence. Once you see yourself, oh, I put that goal and I achieve it, that's data for me to look at, to say, oh, now I have a reason to be confident. You don't have any reason to be confident if you've never done this thing. So why do you expect yourself to be confident before you do it?
Based on?
Yeah, there's nothing based on. So the more you put out, the more successful you become internally. And of course, the better you become at the thing that you're putting out. But you have to make the process of the output beautiful.
Yeah. And I like what you said about, you can have it all, but you don't have to do it all. Yes. But also, I feel like even defining what does all means to you, right? Yeah. It's not the same. And as you said, we're just comparing to what we have been fed that, oh, this is what it means, working hard, hustling, buying that house, buying the best car. But that might not be what makes you happy.
Yes. I feel like we're all following this social media vision board of like, if I am successful, I make my first 6 figures, I'm going to get the Chanel bag.
Yeah.
But what if you would get a private chef? Because here's the thing, the 5 Chanel bags you just bought could get yourself 6 months of a private chef. If you have a Chanel bag and you're still ordering takeout food, respectfully, that's stupid.
Yeah.
You are the performer. Literally your performance, you feeling good, your lifestyle will make you more money.
Exactly.
So get that chef, get the weekly massages, get the cleaner. I always see people saying like, oh, I'm burned out from my business. The business is not what's burning you out, okay?
It's how you're prioritizing things.
Yes, the kids are running around and let's just say I'm burned out because Eid is coming up and I need to like cook for the entire family and the kids are running around and I'm just going to pause my business and then come back. But the business is not burning you out. Even the kids are not burning you out. Probably doing all the housework, cooking for the family, cleaning the house, that is what's burning you out. Or even if you're like, oh, I need to like create content while my family is there and it doesn't work with the kids, get a videographer. Because you're going to take off, right? And you're going to come back with the same exact problems. Kids are still running around. You still have to create content. You still have to like do all the housework.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed.
No, but I was the same. I used to dread doing content because I hated editing, same as you. And I agree, editing is just ugh. And then I realized, listen, the only way we're going to get over this is if I hire an editor.
Yes.
And I hired an editor when I was still at like 5,000 followers. I was like, that's it. I don't want to do it.
Yes.
And it will stop me from growing.
Correct.
Let me give that to someone else. I will invest money in it because I believe in the vision.
Yes.
Let's just do it. And it's changed the game for me.
If you can pay to solve a problem, you don't have a problem.
Yeah. Especially if your time is more valuable than that.
Yes. Because a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but I'm not rich. I haven't cleaned in like 7 years. I haven't done laundry in like 5, 6, because I'm not good at it. I don't like it. It doesn't help me or progress me. So what I've done, what you can do if you don't have any money, exchange.
Yeah.
I would cook for my mom and my dad, and my mom would clean the house and help me with the laundry. You can exchange. And then you need to figure out, respectfully, if you're making some money, 9 to 5, you should invest that in these things because your time is worth more. So pay it to someone else. They're going to be happy because it's their job and you do your job.
And again, one thing we struggle with understanding is you need to spend money to make money. You can't think that I'm just going to hoard all of the money I'm making, but at some day I'm going to make more money. Yeah. Yes, you will if you're in a 9 to 5, but if you don't want to be in a 9 to 5, you need to invest that money.
Yeah, but even that has a cap.
Like, how much more can you make?
Yeah, how much more can you make? At 150, 200,000, unless you're the CEO, it's not going to get any higher, or you have equity. That's not going to.
Where'd you go? Okay, but now let's talk about one final thing is, Do you ever experience mom guilt?
The thing is, now I have set up my business to not experience it. So for example, we lived in downtown, Burj Khalifa view, super fancy apartment, but with a toddler. Plus I was pregnant at the time. It doesn't work. The toddler, like my boy can't run around. He can't like let out the energy. So he's stressing everyone out. And I had to, every time I had to leave to go to a podcast studio, I had to leave to meet a client. I had to leave to do even meetings because it just wasn't there. So we moved to a villa and I set up my own studio. I always wanted this idea of, I'm not a stay-at-home mom, I'm not a working mom, I'm an empire from home mom. I can go into my studio and I can record whatever I need to record. When I hear the baby wake up from his nap, I go and get the baby. I can nurse the baby, the newborn, during meetings, in between meetings, or I don't have to leave, right? So, of course, today it's the first time I left my newborn at home. And I felt mom guilt for like 10 minutes, right? But I also know that I'm doing this for a reason, right? First of all, I'm really good at compartmentalizing. Good. So 10 minutes, mom guilt, and then I'm done. I'm like focused. But even before, with my first, where I was really working really hard, I always think about, what if I wouldn't leave now? What if I wouldn't go to the podcast studio now? What if I wouldn't go to the keynote speech in this other country now? What if I wouldn't like consult for the next 4 hours and I come home? Then I would feel I let myself down. And in a couple of years, I'm going to blame this letting down on my toddler. Like, that's not fair either. And so I rather have my kids see me work on something that really matters than to feel like I had to compromise everything for them. And so, yeah, mom guilt, business guilt, it's there, but it's like 10 minutes and then it's over.
I know. And as you said, it's setting the right examples as well, right? Yeah. So it's definitely. And I think...
And isn't it much more fun if you say, like, I was there when I knew them before they made it. Like, I was there before they made it. And then you can tell that story of like how you grew up with your parents. And
exactly. We knew them when they were less cool.
Yes.
But listen, on this note, what is your parting message to the audience, to all the young women watching you who are trying to build something and trying to manage everything? What's the one advice you would give that you wish somebody gave you earlier in your journey?
You are standing in your own acres of diamonds. We always look at, I need that person, and I need that strategy, and I need that product because it looks shiny. But the real success lies in you and your story, in the way that you speak, your values. And so as women, I urge you to figure out how to attract instead of chase, because it's going to make the whole difference to have a feminine business instead of a masculine one. But more importantly is that you understand that all that you need is within you. You just need to put it out.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sina. This was amazing. Well, hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right.